Hi, baby. You're going to come in? You're going to come in by mommy? Hey there. Can't see because I'm on my step stool today because I'm working on something small. So I have to be on my step stool. I just rough turned the jar the little dish that I'm gonna be making. I'm gonna be making a lidded dish, but I'm going to try to do something unique in, well, let me show you what I made. So this is what I had made the other day. I thought this was cute. And so I'm incorporating a resin bloom. I have not mastered resin blooms in any way, shape, or form. Resonating Art by Amy is who I'm trying to emulate. And at some point, I'll figure it out. I don't know. It seems to be over my head, but we'll get there. Anyway, this is what I'm going to be making today. I have another bloom that I'm going to be putting on the top. Okay? I don't want to start to notice. I want to close this part. I don't know how to close this now. Whatever. Okay. So I have this little block of wood that I'm going to just curve over slightly and glue it into the flour, and then let that dry while I do the dish. Okay, now I don't know how to. Let's just see. Hi, Johnny. All right. So I'm just going to curve this over a little bit. All right, just going to give me a smooth surface to work on. And then this will be glued onto the center there. I'm going to glue this on. Hi, Amy. I'm using another one of the blooms that I screwed up, but you know what? They're working. They're not as magnificent as yours, Amy, but they'll. When you and I do our collab, then we'll have some beautiful stuff to work with. All right, so I'm going to put a little glue here. I did a little too much of a curve. Let's just flatten this out a little. That should be better. I don't want it to be, I don't want it to be so far off the top. This up to here. So today everybody can hear me. I'm in vertical. There we go. Good way to use up the old rotted wood from the yard. Just make a small box. All right, and let's glue this. I'm going to switch to my overhead camera. So I did some of this already. Thank God, because this is the chunk of wood that came flying out and hit me in the shoulder. So there you go. This piece was right here, came flying out. All right, so let's do this. I'm just going to put a little glue in the center. I would use CA glue, but I feel like that becomes very brittle for some reason with the resin. I don't know if anybody else has found that, but I just don't. Okay, well, this is there's always something that goes wrong, isn't there? There we go. Good enough. And I'll go around the edges with CA glue. That looks pretty centered. Looks pretty centered. So we'll have to cut this down later to fit in the lid to the box, but I just wanted to get this glued up now. I'll go around the edges with some CA glue later just to reinforce it, but let's get this wood glue drying in there. Okay. Yeah, I'm sticking with the overhead. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, Michael, you like the vertical? I only find that the CA glue is vertical as brittle with against the resin. It just doesn't seem to hold the resin. And Mike, Two Line Pass is a friend of mine from high school. That's how long we've known each other. All right. I don't know what that means, demo effect. Or is it just that it's brittle just because it's a demo? Okay. Let's just check that. Let me transition to the yeah, we're not so young anymore, Mike. I have to apply for Medicare. All right, now I made this little tool. Um, I think that probably a million other people have made it. I just thought I was so brilliant because I thought it up without seeing it first. But what I did was I just took a chisel and I grooved out the exact shape that I need inside the truck and then sharpened it on the thing. So now I know I have a flat surface for the top of the truck pieces to sit on, and I have the exact planned angle. Now, let's just go over this a little bit. Because I want to steal a little concept from Benjamin. So this is a texturizing tool. So it doesn't show up a huge amount right at the moment, but when I put the sealant on it, it will. All right, so let's go over here. Okay, I'm going to switch to overhead. What is that noise? Ooh, well, there you go. Okay. All right. I think it's ready to turn around. Let's just do a little sanding. Yes, Amy, when you do your live, you need to actually show you. So that was 80 grit. Now I'm going 180. This is such old dry wood from a tree that went down in our yard like 4 years ago. But it was pretty rotten to begin with, so now 400. I don't want to take that texture away. I think Benjamin's textures come out much better than mine because he is stronger than me. Because it does seem to actually take a little bit of muscle. All right, so let me just show you though. Let's just switch to transition. Yeah, you're still not going to be able to see the texturing. Sorry. I thought for sure you'd be able to see it. And I see a crack in this bowl already. That'll be getting filled in. Hi, Bentley. Anybody see my baby Bentley? Bentley, say hi. Can you see him? Hi, baby. Hi. He's afraid to go upstairs by himself because he's afraid of literally going upstairs alone. So. Right, Bentley? You afraid to go upstairs? Huh? All right, so let's take this out of here. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I was all prepared. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm trying to get. I meant to do that. Okay, let's try a different approach. Let's put this in the truck already. Yes, and the vertical is working. Yay. Thank you again, Benjamin. I ended up, it was a bit of a process actually, even after we got off the call, because I had to do, had to actually delete all my old scenes. Otherwise, I couldn't get the new scenes in studio. Are you kidding? This is going to be, oh, thank goodness. Ah. All right, now, try to lock this again. See if I can be a little less clumsy. It's a completely bent screw, so that's going in the garbage. Okie dokie. Well, yes, I was very excited to finally get it in vertical. All right. I don't think I'm going to. I want to do a little bit of a concave here so that if I do the flower and it sits flat, I want you to be able to get your fingers underneath it to lift it off. feel like this is too high. Okay, well, I got to go bigger. Oh, crap. Okay, well, I guess that's going to be a little bit of a groove in. I should just drill a guide hole, but wood is pretty soft. All right, I got to move my step ladder, my step stool. Yeah, can you even see me? All right, so let's see what's happening where I had those screws. See, I shouldn't have done that. Well, there's a lot of holes here. They were not all from me. All right, so all right, now what I don't like, I'm gonna try to use this. I don't really have the strength to use this very well. Oy, ay, ay. See, I don't have the strength to do that. Now I'm too far away. I should get my Jameson hollowing thing out, but that does seem like a lot of work. You know, I haven't been paying attention to the tap, and now I'm seeing Amy wants to put kids on the lathe. Kind of scary. It's not so wholesome anymore, is it? That would be wonderful, Ben, to learn how to. I'm just not. If I wasn't live streaming, I would go through the trouble of getting out the Jameson thing and putting that up. Okay. All right, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this here because I really, this is what size the piece is that I put on the inside of the flower. And literally is exactly, it would fall right through. So I gotta figure out what I'm doing here. Unless I just fill those in. Ugh, that's frustrating. I never even thought of that. Okay. You know what? Those are going to get filled in because there's a whole lot more out here. So one more pass on the inside. Oh, that feels nice. Okay. So I'm just going to fill these in with some wood glue and shavings. Sawdust. Because I screwed up. I guess this won't be going in the art show. At least this crack didn't go too deep because I was getting nervous when I saw that crack there. Okay, sorry, I got the daydreaming. I think that's it. That's about as good as I'm doing anyway. Okay, now 400. So my whole concept of this is that like this part of it is rough and not real shiny and pretty and everything, and then the flower itself will be shiny. Now, this is still a small enough hole that I can get this to round. That crack does go all the way through. I'll have to fix that. All right. All righty. Now the trick of getting this in without damaging the bloom. Oh, I didn't mean to give the finger. Fingers crossed. All right, let's see. Not sure if this is going to work. Okay, let's see. Wow, almost there. Okay. Okay, that's it. Am I even? Can you even see what I'm doing? You can't even see what I'm doing. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's see if I can. Loose. Okay. Ah, so it really came loose. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that that's all you could see was the tailstock. Here we go. Yay. And it fits. A little bit of gunk on there. All right, so I guess that I'll be fixing that once this glue dries. I'll be doing this a little bit bigger and deeper so that the flower sits a little bit more flush with the thing. So let's do. All right, let's transition. Thank you guys. Just going to put a little, just one coat of polyacrylic, even though it's a higher glaze. This wood is so dry. It'll soak it right up and it will not have, oh, clearly there's a crack in this because the polyacrylic is pouring out the side. All right, that just brought out all those colors. Love it. And now that'll be very pretty. That'll be pretty. So I am gonna cut this down some. I have to make this a little bit less, and so that it sits a little bit flatter in here. And then clean this off and shine it up a little bit more, and we are done. And I'll put a picture on Discord when I'm all done. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it.